Hello and welcome to 4,000 and Counting, brought to you by Hurricane E-Bites. I am Watty, and today I am joined for the fifth interview in our mini series by Dundee Comets, Billy Hogg. Billy, thanks for joining 4,000 and Counting. Pleasure, mate.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
So obviously, I am coming to the game this weekend. We have the Comets taking on the Lynx. Talk us through like that rivalry over the last couple of seasons because both teams have been in the business end. They've been winning trophies. What's it like to be a part of that?
No, it's always good. Like you probably touched on in the last year interviews. Like Aberdeen, they've kind of came from like near the bottom, working towards the top. Like now they're competing most years. Like last year, as you probably know, beat them both finals. They won the league, arguably. Like it was between us and them, the best team in the league last year. So, like I say, it should be a good game coming Saturday anyway. So,
They talk about how good your goaltender is. How important has your goalie been to the success you've had?
aye, very good. Like yeah, like same as Cam said. Like he wasn't playing. Like if he was playing, sorry, if he stayed anywhere else, he'd be like a good pro.
Yeah,
Definitely like he's in NHL now, but he's if we've got him in goal, he's an extra goal or two out of the game because yeah, he's unreal, very good goalie.
I like
He's
the
very
fact
good.
that there is that depth and talent. There is good goaltenders in the
Yeah,
league. Aberdeen, obviously, you say they were down the bottom, and now they've changed the whole kind of ethos, and they're a club on the up.
mm-hmm.
What about Dundee, the Comets? Obviously, you guys aren't the biggest team in town because the Stars are there. You then
Yeah,
have the Tigers, so it's quite a split for the Dundee population to decide who they're going to watch. And
yeah.
how do the Comets sit in the kind of infrastructure around Dundee now?
I would sort of, I've got to obviously say they're the second team. We can't really say our arch rivals are the better team of the two, but it's just the fan base that like, definitely depends on where the Stars are, if they're home or away, where the Tigers are playing. Like, because there's a lot of people that welcome watch just Dundee hockey in general.
Yeah,
We've definitely been over the last 10 years more trophies wise done better in league, which is funny because I think I should be saying this, but the Tigers on paper, player by player, they've got by far superior players
okay, that's
on
interesting.
paper. It's funny, like, but I don't know why they're not winning. I, I'm not sure what's going on, but they should be winning more than they have and doing more, being more successful. I think since we've been through some tough years, with like when we shouldn't win anything, but we had players, a group of players that have actually won before and been able to grind out results and get the results when those guys haven't really won a few years yet.
Yeah.
They're kind of younger boys and kind of stuff like that. But I think that's why they're a bit more successful than them. But obviously, the Stars, they're the best team. They're a pro team playing money and stuff, so they'll always be the top team.
How's the relationship between the Tigers, the Stars, the Comets, and the junior club? Is everybody kind of pulling on the same strings? I.e., what you want is the guys to go from the junior club to either the Comets or the Tigers, whichever one it is, and then hopefully onto the Stars and have a career and go on and be potentially a national team player.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of split because the Tigers they don't have the junior development. There's SNL only, whereas we have tens all the way through to SNL. Then if you're good enough, you can make the jump to stars. So we kind of like to them. So the Tigers don't really have any up and coming guys, and if they do, it's kind of guys that have been playing for the Dundee or set development, and they're
Yeah,
not
okay,
quite
that's
getting on.
interesting.
Yeah, so they could either maybe play for us, and they can maybe make the jump to the Tigers. So that's more the case.
So I talked to Cammy about it. What's it like
Yeah,
having to like switch locker rooms for when
yeah,
one's home and one's away? That's
yeah. It's
so
weird. Yeah,
so backwards.
yeah. It's pretty fucked up. It's like you're at home, but you're playing away, and you're changed. The only thing that doesn't change is the bench. We always take this one bench, and they always keep whether they're home or away. That's kind of
Okay,
always
that's
been the
interesting.
things because it used to be when it was Camberdown Stars and Dundee Tigers years ago. They always kept the same bench. It's just always say the tradition that way. So that's the only thing
Um,
that doesn't change.
do you feel fortunate to get to play in that facility because it's a absolutely cracking ice rink?
100%, yeah, 100%, yeah. It's not until you go away in other dressing rooms. I always like this one that always come to mind. Like I must think like the American guys and Canadian guys that come over to play in Dundee, and then like they've been at the home rink once. Like, okay, this is what it's like. Then go across the Fife or something. I must be thinking, what the fuck am I going to play with? Or even like a guy saying,
Dripped on.
yeah, a guy saying for Fife his first training session turned out like a Collie Ace rank. And you're actually thinking, what the fuck have I done?
It's a
Surely,
practice rink.
yeah,
Where's the game arena?
yeah,
But I mean, the old barn's got a bit of history. Obviously, it's been
100%, yeah,
early 1900s. all us Scottish boys will have a soft spot for it, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's a shithole.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fifers. I mean, you have eyes. You have eyes. You walk in there. You walk in that rink every week. I don't know if you can still get it, but you could get stovies at Five rink. So I mean, there is some good things about it.
Yeah, the only thing.
About the only thing, yeah. So obviously we talk about the rivalry with the Tigers, but if you're from down south, the rivalry we knew about back in the day would be the Dundee Fife rivalry. I think we've lost you there. Oh, we got you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Okay.
Let's try that again. Apparently,
Yeah.
it's my internet connection saying it's unstable.
Yeah, I mean, seems right. Yeah.
Okay. Try that again. So obviously we've talked on like the rivalry between the Dundee clubs, but if you're from down south like I am, the rivalry that we knew about would be always between Dundee and Fife. Obviously, you grew up on the Dundee side of that.
Yeah.
Talk us through that as a junior into the SNL and what it was like always being up against the Kirkcaldy teams.
Yeah, when we were younger, it was always Paisley Fife. They were like from 10s, 12s, 14s, all the way through. It was Paisley Fife every final. The league was Paisley Fife every year. But it's kind of like we're the same as Aberdeen. We were always a team that was bottom league. I remember the first game I played for, it was Camperdown Juniors at the time. And I think we lost 36-0. And that's how it was. Like, and then gradually over the years, we started getting better players, like more ice time, because Dundee Ice had been shut for many years.
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of the case, same as Aberdeen, just kind of working my way back up. But then there's still a great rivalry. Don't get me wrong, Dundee Five is still a big rivalry for us, and more so the elite team now.
Yeah, I remember. I think arguably when they were the biggest rivals would have been in the BNL days.
Yeah.
When Fife used to actually play their fucking Brits, and
many moons ago,
John Haig was running riot on a line with Bobby Smear, Haig and Smithy.
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry, I'll get my name. Robo. There was John McCrones and Bernie and like there was Brits playing regularly. I just obviously had your teammate Sean on. We were shooting the shit there, and we talked about the young boys, Page, and forgive me, I just forgot his name already. But in the Challenge Cup this year, they play 4 and 5 games respectively.
Yeah,
and their time on ice,
Brody K,
25 seconds and 29 seconds. What in the fuck are you expecting those boys to do in 29 and 25 seconds?
Yeah, there was what was that? It was at the home game with when they got the young lad Finn Page was playing. I thought he's an import. It turns out I spoke to someone. Turned out he's 5 and he's like 18 years old. He is a fucking unit. An absolute unit. He came on. He had a fight with like Dundee. He's one of Dundee's tougher players this year. Didn't look out of place one bit, and then scored in like the last minute. And he only got like 6 minutes of ice time that night.
Yeah, they're averaging next to nothing.
Yeah,
and that means if he got 6 minutes in that, he's played nothing in the rest because he's averaging 29 seconds.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've stuck to the SNL and the lower levels in Scotland, but you've been around the rinks, you've been around the guys, you know the boys, you know what's what. What do these elite league clubs have to do to maybe there's a 15-year-old in your club right now?
Yeah.
What do we have to do to stop him being a Sparky and go, do you know what? I'm just going to go balls deep on being an ice hockey player. Because right now there is nothing incentive-wise that is going to make you go, do you know what? Instead of being at college or I'm going to come and be a hockey player. I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week. My nutrition is going to be 100%. I'm going to train with the 18s. I'm going to train with the Kestrels. I'm going to train with the Flyers. I'm going to be on the ice every day. I'm going to get extra sessions. I'm going to do all this. What do we have to do to get that? Because until the Brits get some sort of reward for the hard work, it's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah, unless it's like in football, there's always funding and stuff. Whereas ice hockey, it's still a minority sport, unfortunately. Unless there's going to be like a government funded thing or like a local council funded thing where like top prospects are funded, then you can maybe do like like the footballers do. They go to college and then they train 3 days a week, or in their days off or their hours off, they go to college and it's kind of sponsored. Until there's something like that, I don't think it's going to change. Even when guys are good enough to play, they don't get enough trust. Like they're
You've got to be allowed to make mistakes, right?
Yeah, like, but then, so this thing that will piss me off. It's like you always watch the Facebook groups and stuff after games. There's always young Scottish guys or British guys that fuck up, and everyone's on them. Right? They're not getting paid fucking £800 a week. But then a young guy who's just worked all week, working his balls off, like you say, in an apprenticeship, he fucks up once everyone's on him. Like, what's the big difference? That's the thing that gets me.
Has to be allowed. I'm going to try that again in English. They have to be allowed to make mistakes.
100%. You're not going to learn until you make those mistakes in a bigger stage.
I'm gonna show you a prime example, and he is potentially one of the best heavyweight boxers that ever fucking lived. Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
The way he fought Deontay Wilder in the first fight was wrong. The way he fought Deontay Wilder in the second fight and third fight was right.
Yeah.
He made a mistake through only fucking 5 short fights ago. He's fought 2 bums since he fought like a couple of guys that couldn't fight their way out of paper bag. But before that, he fought Klitschko. He fought everybody. His game plan was wrong. And this is one of the best heavyweights that have ever lived. So you better think that kid that's fucking popped out the SNL 2 years ago is probably going to make a mistake every now and again when he gets a puck. Or he doesn't pick up an import sniper who goes bar down. Shit 100%. Happens.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I watched that Liam Stenton last week. Obviously, he's been with the clan. He's now down with Solway. And I'm watching him and I'm thinking, why is he not in the Elite League?
Yeah.
Like, what does this kid have to do? He is smooth as shit. Like, he fucking skates unbelievably, mate. He's so smooth.
I've never saw him play. I've never saw him play.
Lovely, smooth skating D-man who makes a good first pass. Yeah. He'll nip into the rush a wee bit if he has to. He'll hold the blue. Basically, do you know, if you're going, right, this is what I want my D-man to do. Check.
He's got them all.
He's got them all. Yeah. Give us some fucking ice time.
Yeah,
like, how are these... Mate,
it's a massive step up as well. It's like it was like I just finished my apprenticeship. I got lucky enough to train the Stars for 6 weeks pre-season, and I went from training 1 hour a week to 2 hours a day. Like, that's the difference. You know what I mean? Like, how do you possibly manage to step up in a few weeks?
Yeah, so you've gone from an hour to 10 hours.
Yeah,
and probably the other things that you take for granted, right? At that SNL level.
Yeah,
come on, Bill. You ain't fucking stretching before you go out on that ice. You ain't having a warm up. You're gonna go in. You're gonna chuck a fucking snooze in. You're gonna have a shit. You're gonna drink a coffee. You're gonna tell stories with the boys. You're gonna go out. You're gonna do your hour. You're gonna get off, and you're gonna go back to everyday life. Whereas with that, you'll go in. They might have a bike out before. You might ride the bike. You might go through some practice stuff on the board. You then go. You do your training. You might have a little roll and a roller. You might get in the ice bath. You might. It's night and day different.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's different. Just like every aspect is just different. But like, just asking a young guy as well that's never really been in that environment to make the change worse. Like, I suppose now young kids ever going to know what it's like. Some of us or most of us have kind of touched on it in different ways, and now you know what's expected of you. But at that age, you just don't know what's expected of you. You need to get in an environment, and you'll mould it in an environment you're with the more you're in it. You know what I mean?
And especially if you think you're doing well. You think that I had a good game tonight. Yeah. I did this and then I made good passes. Yeah. I didn't get beat once. I had my guy every time. When we were in the offensive zone, I held the blue. And I did all this. And then you don't play for 6 games. It's mental torture to a young developing athlete. Yeah.
I don't watch enough walkouts with SNL. That one game I did watch, especially the young guy Brody Kay. I played against him all last year when he played for Kirkcaldy Kestrels. Very good D-man, simple, like you say. But he didn't put a foot wrong with the shift he was on. So why not play him more in a Challenge Cup game? What if you're not going to play in a Challenge Cup game? I'm sorry, you're not going to play in a league. Like, what is the point? What is the point? You're not going to develop training every day. You need to be playing game time under pressure.
You need real reps against, guys that were in the AHL last year. Yeah. That's going to make you better when you're in a corner against a guy that played 47 games in the A last year, or played in the KHL 4 years ago, or played in Liga or whatever.
Yeah,
you're going to get better real fast, because if you don't, then you will be back down with the Kestrels, because they can afford those changes.
Yeah.
But just having them there as passengers,
no
I can't get on board by that. And the problem that's going to dice over it this year with the Flyers is they've already have, and they will continue, in my opinion, to win more games than they have previously.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone will just be like, hey, great, we're not last.
Yeah.
And no one will start asking the questions. I mean, I will. I'll ask the questions every time I get anybody that's on remotely north of the border, because I want to see a Gary Wishart. I want to see a Kyle Horn, a Paddy Ward. You ain't gonna get that if these boys are sitting riding the pine night in, night out.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, even like the names you mentioned there, like even when I was younger boy, like Fife was always the place to be for homegrown talent. They had like from top to bottom, players are playing every level, and they were the best at it as well in our country. So how can that just stop? Nothing's changed.
What about being a Dundee boy? What about them getting? I mean, I know young Jonathan McBainey's just gone full time with the Stars this season. He got a goal in one of his 2 league performances this year.
Yeah.
But if you look at his numbers as well, and this could be the Elite League's worst or best thing, however you look at it. Averaging in the 2 league games he played, he scored 1 goal, averaged 10 minutes on the ice a night. In the 4 Challenge Cup games, doesn't have a single point. He averages 5 minutes, 26 a night.
Yeah. It just says what it is, you know what I mean? It's like,
so if you give him 10 minutes, he scores a goal every other game. And if you give him 5 minutes, he does fuck all for 4 games. Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like, well, Chris Ingles is like the best example of that. He got given a chance, and now he's I think he's second line defenseman every week, and he's playing like 400 games in the IHL. Yeah. He was a young guy, played with us, a great guy, nothing special, just a big solid guy, makes, like you say, makes a good simple pass, first time pass all the time, and he's made a decent career out of it because he's been given a chance. And he's just as good as any guy from the East Coast that's been brought over or anything like that. He's like good D man, and he's saving him how much pounds a week just by playing him.
He reminds me of Josh Tetlow. In fact, it wasn't because he doesn't mind dropping a midsole, Chris, does he?
Yeah. So
I hadn't realised he was a jock.
Yeah.
It wasn't until maybe part of the way through last year or the year before. I would just always say English, the way it was spelt.
Yeah.
Because I don't pay much attention. I mean, as much as I run a hockey podcast, I mean, I don't really pay that much attention.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe he's a fucking Euro, and he don't mind dropping the mitts, and I clicked on his elite prospects. And then actually since then, I've kind of watched his career, and I've paid an interest. Like you say, nigh on 400 games, and he's on his way to a testimonial if he's not careful.
100%, yeah.
He's on his way right the way through the 10-year, and I don't know why you would get rid of him if you were Dundee. I don't think you ever would.
Yeah.
But he's just there. Did you see the Department of Player Safety put a video out today?
Yeah.
I think that's a 1-game ban. He can take that one on the chin and go.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any malice in the hit.
No, I think he's turned. He's turned late. He maybe could have pulled out, but I think he can't not cop. Like,
let me ask you a question, Billy. Are you fucking pulling out that hit? I'm
not. Nah, no way.
Nope. Sorry.
Right.
Ban me. I don't care. And the Belfast boy, Prince, he hit that Chad Petrosino from Cardiff Devils.
I saw that. That was different.
It was gross.
Different. Yeah.
But I'm finishing that hit as well. Yeah, if you turn on me at that second, mate, I'm sorry.
I think that one was. I think if you were the guy taking if you're the guy that went down, you want a penalty. But if you're the guy who's made the hit, you're like, I couldn't have pulled out with that. So you can look at that both ways. I saw people on Twitter calling for 10 games. That's not a 10 game. That's at worst a 1 game, and I think 1 game probably what you've got to call it. 10 years ago, you maybe get a 10-minute for that, but
get a 10-minute and I have to fight my way. So it's even worse. It's not a
10 game.
Give me a 10. Make sure that we don't have to play against the Cardiff Devils away again this year. You'd be like looking at the fixtures, going right, 10 games, and
you're sick after that one.
It's got the fucking Cardiff away through. Mike Ware's foaming at the mouth. He's going to beat you up in the press box. Like it's Do you know what? That's what sells hockey, mate, and it sells stories.
Yeah.
Still to this day, pals that I've had for as long as they have come to my games. The first question they go, "Oh, obviously now that I'm not playing, they don't come. Like they're
Yeah.
not hockey fans. They're,
Yeah.
football fans, rugby fans, whatever. But they're not hockey fans. They would come when I was there because I was there. But now I see them and I'll be like, oh, I was at so and so game this weekend, and I'm going up to this weekend. Who's the fighters? Who's fighting?
Yeah.
Was there a tilt? Was there not like what was the score? Was it a good game?
Yeah.
To the general public,
yeah.
Well, still milk it. Let's go. Still use that to get bums on fucking seats. I don't care what we have to do, but we want full facilities because guess what? If 3,000 people go to Coventry Blaze next week, one little Johnny out of that, little Johnny might go to his dad, I want to go skating.
Yeah.
And then we get another kid in the juniors. And that's what it's all about. We got to get bums on seats to get kids in the door. And obviously we touched on like Aberdeen, they've gone from the bottom, they're now nearer one of the top teams.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I really found that I liked about their whole club ethos is the money that comes in at the top comes back in at the bottom, and the kids now pay X. I'm not going to say how much, but we love Hurricane e-bikes, and so do you. Trustpilot have Hurricane e-bikes at a 4.6 out of 5-star rating. Let me just read some taglines for you. I love this bike. Fantastic business with a fantastic product. Fantastic service all around. What a fantastic company to deal with. Fabulous customer services. Fat bike off-road. Fun just got an upgrade. Very satisfied with my bike. It's the best company to rent an e-bike. All sorts of good feedback. I like the service. It's very satisfying in all forms. It's got any solution for any problem by contacting just by phone. So it seems like the people are happy. Amazing bike. Best product. Karen, she loves it. Been using the electric bike for 6 months. The e-bike is amazing. No maintenance cost. Very effective. That is right. No maintenance cost. You can go further, go faster, get fitter. All you got to do is head over, hit subscribe on hurricane.ebikes, select your bike, add your accessories, confirm your details, and it is on its way to you. Now, as always, I like to chuck in my favorites. It's the M250 mountain bike. I like the F200 20-inch fat bike. That's pretty cool, but as you please, there's so many different colors, sizes, shapes, something for everybody. So head over to Hurricane e-bikes, go further, go faster, and get fitter. They pay X for their subs per month, and when he told me, I was like, Basingstoke, which is my local club, is nigh on triple for that for half the ice time. How are you supposed to develop if one club's paying X and the other club's paying XX?
Yeah.
Like, we need clubs like Aberdeen, like whoever it may be, the Steel Dogs Steelers new relationship. I hope that then goes down to the junior club and we start to see trickle down economics and we make it cheaper for kids to be involved in the sport.
Yeah. It's like, Dundee's a working class city. That's what I've always found as well. It's like, most of the kids that have been playing like throughout the road, they've had their parents are always a bit better off. It's not like football, like in other places. Like you need a bit more money to be playing hockey, especially in Dundee. I don't know what it's like down south, but same as back in the Fife and Paisley thing. It's like I think they were more tougher backgrounds and they started playing hockey. Whereas Dundee was more like a middle class thing when we were younger. Maybe it's a bit different now, but it's all the same. It's like it's not cheap for any kid to get into. You can't just pick up a pair of football boots, go down your local park. You know the costs and you need ice time and stuff. It's like costly, so it's good that kids can get back through.
Well, there's been a meme going around Facebook this week and YouTube. If you're watching this, I don't mean anything by it. I'm just reiterating what I saw. It said hockey is for everyone, unless you're black, gay, Asian, or poor. And it's a message we share all the time. Hockey is for everyone. But now the NHL have now come out and said like the Pride night's done, the Pride tape's done, the Pride jerseys are done.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough. I've had many black teammates over the years.
Yeah.
But if I was to then put that in percentages versus the white teammates I've had, it doesn't even recollect. No. It's not even close. If I was to then put it to the Asian teammates, it goes down to even less percentages again. And then finally, Muslim. I played with two brothers, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Two Muslim lads in my entire junior and senior career, which was what, 24 or 5 years.
Yeah.
We say hockey's for everyone, but sadly, in this day and age, it's not. There's no way an inner city kid whose mum and dad are on benefits is going to be able to go out and start becoming an ice hockey player. He could, however, go get football boots and go fucking down a local park and just have a kick around. And how do we get these minorities and less fortunate people into the sport?
Yeah, it's got to be the same again. Just like it's got to be coming from the government, or like you say, the top teams. They're like putting that money back down there, especially lower budget teams like Dundee. And I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But
which is crazy because Chris proves it, right? 400 games or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. He's not costing you the same as Ben O'Connor.
No.
So if you invest in your junior club, you might have 3 or 4 Chris's.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Who then, when it comes to, do you say Matty Myers, John O'Phillips, or the guys that are making the business end of the money?
Yeah.
Or can you sign 3 or 4 Chris's and then you can sign 3 or 4 better imports? And the economics works out, but you have to give Brits a chance.
Yeah, you got to give them a chance. So, like you say, you get that money back. Like you
less ITC cards.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be.
Yeah, it won't happen overnight. But if you start putting time in now, and it'll maybe take 10 years, and that 10 years you will start getting players back and your money back every year.
Well, yeah, because
10 years
let's keep using Chris as an example because he's a prime example.
Yeah.
But let's say in 5 years, he's now at fucking 600 Elite League, 650 Elite League games. He's on the tail end. Who's coming up his ass? Who's coming to take his job and say, yo, oh man, Chris, that's enough of you.
Yeah.
I'm 18. I'm coming to take your job off you.
Yeah.
There has to be that pathway.
Yeah, 100%.
So obviously you being in the SNL, Sean said that you've got a lot of young boys on the roster.
Yeah.
You ain't quite as old as me, but you're in your 30s. What's it like? Are you dadding up the young lads? Are you taking them under your wing and showing them the ropes? How is it?
Yeah, you got like I missed most of the season. I work away, so I've missed most of the games this year. But like Sean and Campbell mentioned, we've probably lost our 2 top points over last year. The young guys coming through, they've got plenty of talent. They're just not at that quite stage where they're going to put up points per game yet. They will be there. Which is the case of looking after them, just try to get them to be themselves. I think the kids are a lot quieter than they used to be like 10, 15 years ago, for sure. They're
all drinking protein shakes instead of Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, like I don't think they've got a bigger point to prove. I think when we were younger, like this point to prove as soon as we got in about a men's team, like I've got to show what I can do, but they kind of a bit more reserved, I don't think. But they'll definitely be good. Give them a few years and they'll be definitely putting up points and will be in a good place.
That's what I was chatting to Fraser about it, and I was like, "What's it like having a young team and about it?" Because obviously he's fucking ancient now. He's 42. And you got young Gary Kelly. Interviewed him this week. What a great head on that boy's shoulders.
Yeah.
Good things for Scottish hockey when you hear young lads like that. He scored 26 goals in the SNL last year. 16-year-old, outstanding, mate. When he comes on here, the first thing he says, "Yo, my teammate, this guy, fucking that guy."
Yeah.
So not self-deprecating.
Yeah,
but acknowledging every guy along the way, from Scotland under 15s to his coaches back then. To, do you know what? As an old cynical veteran that's been around it for so fucking long, it is so refreshing to hear young talent come on now. He's hungry, mate. He's hungry, and you can feel that when you talk to him. You can feel the hunger.
Yeah, he's a good Dundee lad as well. He's from Dundee.
Yeah, that's right. He's Dundee.
I'm not sure why he didn't play for us, but yeah, it's a shame that he's in our league now.
I imagine for you guys that are looking at this, the one that got away, but we've seen Ben Brown step down. I say step up a league, but down down the nation to Milton Keynes, and evidently the boys are very, very impressed with what they've seen. You got to see him up close. What could the National League fans expect?
It's going to be a lot different playing down there, but he's definitely got the talent. he's got a good head on him. He's the same as Gary. Like he's not about himself. A great player, not about himself. He's always like he's good. Even like you see him with younger kids and stuff. He's good to younger kids, taking him aside, showing him, helping him out. It's not all about me. It's like, yeah. You think I think between him and John last year, I think got 80 points between the two of them last year. So like it's just unreal. That's
that would do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You touched on. Sorry, mate. No, carry on.
Right.
Please carry on.
They've definitely got a good player. I just hope he sticks in. I'm sure he will. And then...
I really do, because that's the other thing that we've seen. This is my age. You're a little bit younger than me, but you touched on Robbo being with the Flyers. In fact, I think he actually played with my old man in the air setup back in the day. And then we had his boy. He come down and he did the Bracknell thing.
Yeah.
He did the couple of things, and then he fucking went back up the road. And now he's back down. You come to Bristol, and everyone was like, "Shit, this fucking kid's like money." And it was like he looked good the first time he came down, but the second time he come down, he's a little bit more mature.
Yeah,
he's earned his contract with MK again.
Yeah.
What's it like having like the Scottish boys represented? Because that was always a thing that I found when I was down here much before like Horny and Wish and all that. Although I always played all my career in England, I'm Scottish.
Yeah.
And when you looked at the elite prospects, I was one of the only Scottish names. You know, Scotty McKenzie might be in there for a bit, or Barry McKenzie might be in there for a bit, Grant McPherson. There were Scottish boys in the league, but there was never really Scottish boys in the league. And then the Fifers all came down, and they'll come down and like, you know, pickaxes ready to go. And everyone was like, shit, these boys are good. And I was like, we knew they were good. Like we know the boys because we played against them with kids, and we watched their careers, we watched them grow up. How important is it to get like Gary Kelly going down to Whitley Bay, get Kyle Carruth going down from Solway to Widnes, and getting these young boys? Kilmarnock, a prime example. I think Kilmarnock have got like 5 guys playing for Widnes this year.
Yeah. No,
how important is it for those boys?
Like, it's a great thing. It's just like there's great players up here. I just don't think like the English teams know how good the talent is in Scotland. Don't get me wrong. Not every team's the same. But I'd say in every single team in this league, there's one guy that will go down there and compete. A minimum one guy. And it's just like, I think I missed the games when we played in it was like across the league. When the Comets play like Widnes, like you say, and Whitley Bay, Billingham. And we got the final. And we got beat off Widnes in the final. I didn't play.
That's what Sean was saying. Like, competed excellent.
And that was just, I went up to watch one game. I think it was like 10 or 11 guys. And we played Whitley and beat them like 2-1.
Just battled all the way.
Yeah, and I think most teams got a shock at like how decent the standard is up here. I think it's just getting.
Did you think that
exposure?
Okay, that's part of what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Do you think the league gets in its own way a little bit? Because, and by the way, shout out to Hull Jets. We had this sort of podcast, and obviously, not blowing our own horn, but we're probably the biggest podcast in the UK. A lot of people tune in from all over the fucking place and whoever it may be. So I was giving it to the Hull Jets a little bit.
Yeah.
I was giving it to them because I went to tag them on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Their last post was like fucking 2021. And I'm like, how are you expecting this shit to grow? Like, you've had 2 full seasons with no tweet. Bang, I get a message. Right, we're looking to change this. We're looking to change that. Mate, Hull Jets social media this year for an NIHL 2 or 1 Northern team, whatever they're in now.
Yeah.
Different gravy. Like, all of a sudden they're buying in and they're doing all this. Same thing. They say to the Comets, we'll tag you guys. October 2022. Yeah. You're shooting yourself in the fucking foot. That's a year ago. Your last tweet can't be a fucking year ago. Like, and want to grow the game. You all have to do it. Like me, like I've done 5 interviews this week. That's what helps this grow. That's what helps this grow. If someone's willing to get on the social media, be like, goal scored by Billy Hogg, and you've got your own stupid wee meme thing and all that shit. Yeah. In the world we live in now, you have to have it. So what did the SNL have to do is take it from that not unknown entity, but okay. A bit more of a raw question. What do you have to do up north to make us give a fuck down south? That's probably how I would word that question in my own vernacular.
without being funny, it's just come down and beat you guys. Like that was like the
But you boys have done that though. You've done that,
yeah,
but then
yeah.
it's
But
still
then
like
since that's happened, there's like you say, the guys like Gary Kelly's down in Whitley Bay. I think Gary Simpson's down in Whitley Bay. He's playing down there now. Ben's down in Milton Keynes now.
MK.
Yeah, like I think since then I think there's been I don't know if I'm paying more attention, but I think there has been more guys down since then. So that's just they just need that exposure. Like I think now there's been a few, and now they're doing well. There's going to be more after that because they think, oh fuck, like the same again with the import thing. Why go and spend £100 on like an import when there's a guy at the road who'll play for half the price in Scotland? He'll do as good a job, if not better.
Yeah.
I think that's what, like you say, it's business at the end of the day. So it makes sense. So
Well,
I think there's going to be more opportunities from now on.
I'll hold my hand up.
Yeah.
I will hold my hand up. Since doing this podcast, I've not really give a shit. I'm not gonna lie about the SNL.
Yeah.
I have no reason to lie.
Yeah.
But from speaking to all the guys at Solway in the transition into the national and building a good relationship with those guys, and obviously I know guys that play in the SNL, and all the guys that I know that play in the SNL are good at hockey and they're good guys.
Yeah.
But there was never really any motivation for me to cover this on this. I got the Elite League, got the National League, got the National One. By the time you do that, I mean, I barely covered the National One, but just with timing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people over the years did message say, maybe cover the SNL. And I spoke to John, who's the chairman of Aberdeen.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, I see you doing all this road trip stuff. Because actually, in credit to John, like he heard about my plans. I do charity games every year, and normally, obviously, we donate the money to charity. Next year's plans are we have a game in Solway, we have a game in Slough, and all the money is going to go towards funding junior tournaments in the 24-25 season.
Good. Yeah.
Brilliant, right? So he reached out to me. He's like, love your idea. And the chairman, we start talking, and he's like, well, you've talked about it on the pod. Put your fucking money where your mouth is. Come up and check it out. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I want to help continue to spread the word. I've got a good platform here to do it. And anybody that's listened to your number 5, any of the previous 4 interviews and yours, will realize you boys are just as passionate, you're just as game, just as anything as what you want it to be as a viewer, as a listener, as a UK hockey fan, that hopefully people start getting behind it and start spreading the game up there.
Yeah, I think Saturday you get a bit of surprise on Saturday. I'm not sure what you're expecting, but
I'm buzzing, mate. Like genuinely excited.
The only bad thing that Aberdeen has got against them is the rink's not big enough. They've only got one main stand. It's like they've got one main stand and the goal, and it's all concrete around the rest. If they had a bigger stadium, they'd probably fill it most weeks. They're getting averaging like 1,000 fans a week. It's a good atmosphere, very well run, pretty professional. So I think you get a
mate. Honestly, I'm so excited. So I've been talking to them, and I've done these road tripping. I've done it in the National League. I've done it at the NHL One. I'm going to be doing it Czech Extra League. I'm all over Europe this year.
Yeah.
Starting off, and what Aberdeen have been like, mate. They're like an elite league club. They're like, right, what? So we've got this area set up in the bar. There's backdrops and there's this for you, and then we've got you over here and we got that. And I'm like, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. And that league has nowhere else to go but north. Like, because all of a sudden that starts rubbing off on the other clubs. And then they have to up their social media game. Like, since Solway coming to the National League and started doing all their crazy fucking social media posts and that.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, shit, we need to up our game. And now the whole social media product from the National League teams is night and day better than it was a year ago. But it's a country mile better than 2 years ago.
Yeah. Because
Solway have brought that bar up. No, Aberdeen are bringing that bar up. They're telling you guys, look, we're selling out. And Cam said, he said the one thing between the you guys are probably the better organization and the more successful. He said that Dundee Tigers team know about marketing. He was like, mate, you go to their games and they're packed.
Yeah, they do well with that. Yeah.
So how does the league as a whole get everybody up on that? Because, by the way, if it is, and the talent level can compete, like you say, with the Crossover Cup, NIHL North Cup, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Why can't that league then be viewed as the SNL and NIHL is the same?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like we're Dundee are less fortunate as we've got the Stars as well. That kind of holds us back. But obviously, we're trying up the Dundee derbies when the Stars are away, so the both fans are going to watch us. But we'll probably, I think we'll get about 1,000 a game when the Tigers Comets. But without when the Stars are at home or Stars are like maybe in Fife or Braehead, we'll make it like 300-400. That's the difference. Which is still a good crowd. But
I mean, it is a good crowd for amateur sport, but I'm not trying to, in my capacity here, turn this into a fully professional SNL. I mean, I think it'd be great. I would love you boys. I would love for the boys, and this is something that I spoke to a couple of senior management within different organizations.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, hey, but he's turning up and he wants fucking 275 a week.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if you boys got the league to a place where there's enough folk watching that sponsors want to get involved. And if sponsors want to get involved, the streams happen.
Yeah.
And then if folk are buying the streams, guess what? The boys can have 35 quid a week for fucking fuel. They can have 15 quid for a road trip so they can buy a juice and a Subway or whatever it is. It doesn't need to be professional, but if you can take it in that step. So like a young Gary Kelly who's 17 and on an apprenticeship and probably making next to fuck all.
Yeah.
Can know he's going to leave Aberdeen and have to travel down to Kilmarnock, and he's not going to have to go into his apprentice wages and buy, he's going to get rinsed out of snaps in 4 hands on the bus. He's gonna have a £7.50 pot, £12.50 pot to pay for his cars, and then he's got to buy a sandwich, he's got to buy a juice and all that. If that can be covered in your league as a starting point, not professional, but a damn sight better for all of you boys who, why do you not deserve that? Because you live in Scotland when the guys that live in Whitley Bay or Streatham or Romford 2 or Chelmsford, Invicta are getting those perks. And essentially it's the same level.
I think it's just something we've got used to. It's like, it's quite bad to say it, but we just got used to it, so that's how it is. It's even, I'm not sure what the England setup's like, but I remember even when we were younger, like down the Scotland team and stuff, going to Hull and stuff, we got nothing from like the SIHA or.
I know,
like,
you pay, your mum and dad pay that.
Yeah, everything. Like, so you're going down to Hull, the 2 trials, you go down there, go to 2 trials, wherever it is. So they're a hotel. Your mum and dad's probably a pocket taking a day off work. You go through there, then you make the team, then you got to buy your tracksuit, you got to buy your shirt, then you're down. The family comes down to watch you. We played Nottingham. So
but you go to Belgium first or France?
Yeah, we won't go. When we went, it was Hull and played in Nottingham. And one year I was fortunate enough to make the GB trial. So I got the second round. So it was again two trips down to Sheffield. It was.
Yeah.
All paid. I'd take time off work when I was an apprentice. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I think it's just something you get used to. You just don't expect it, but it's not right. Like again,
it's not right, mate. I don't think it's right. It's and again, I'm not saying you boys need 250 a week, but I think if you can get that league to such a sustainable place where North Air, Kilmarnock come up and fucking gob Aberdeen up the road, and then they can start bringing fans in, and everybody's bringing fans in. Everybody's bringing hopefully eyes to the sport, sponsors. You could turn it from amateur to almost a semi-pro. It doesn't have to go as full hog as a national league. It doesn't even have to go as full hog as the NIHL 1 South, because I know the South and North a little bit different in terms of, finances and stuff like that. But if guys were, you knew you were turning up and your sticks were done and your skates were done and you had a little bit of fuel money and a little bit of per diem for like eating the subways and out on the road, that's the next step in bringing that league up a whole heap higher.
I definitely think there's more chance of happening now than ever has, because it's maybe 5-6 years ago there's 10 teams. I think there's only 8 teams now. But the top 4 were way up here. The bottom 4 were way down there. But now, like, everyone's beating everyone, especially the 2 home, 2 away. That's like, it's just making a massive difference. Everyone's beating everyone. I think now there's like at the top of the table. Okay, we're only 3 or 4 games in, but I think there's 4 or 5 teams on 6 points.
Nice spread.
Like North Air beat Paisley. Paisley's always there or thereabouts. Within playoff finals, leagues, they're always top 3. North Air bottom league got like a team for 16, 17-year-old kids just beat Paisley on Saturday or Sunday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. It's like it's not good at time for us because we've got to work hard every game. But as a league as a whole, it's great. Like everyone's competing every week. It's only going to bring on like every player in the team. Like we're going to be playing younger guys coming through, more ice against the supposedly lesser teams. So yeah, it is good. It's good.
I mean, I don't know how much attention you pay to it. I pay a little bit more attention to it now, but the SNL, there's no real like grabbing homepage. This is where you go. This is what's happening. This is who's playing. It's not. It's not in your face. Like you have to fucking go and find it.
Yeah.
Like it's not right there. You're gonna have to go out your way. I think the league as a whole, if they start bringing more of that aspect into it, especially now with the volunteers that we've got, like the volunteers down in Invicta this week, all they've been doing for the last 5 weeks is once a week at practice they mic a guy up.
Yeah.
And then they put that on Instagram.
Funny,
They put it on Instagram.
The first guy for that.
Mate, but you put it on Instagram and you're like hooked. If you're a hockey fan, the guys are skating around. Oh, you got a fucking new twig. I got old gloves. They gave you new gloves. I got old, like, and guys it's chirping and it's fun.
Yeah.
If the league as a whole buy into all of that, the product's going to grow. Like what Solway have done in the social media world since stepping into the National League is outstanding. And that is the world we live in, whether we like it or not. And if you want to grow, you can't have October 2022 as your last tweet. And these things, they do make a difference. And you got a guy like, say, young Gary Kelly on your roster. He's 16. He's got 26 goals. Get that shit out there. Let's go. Pump that up. Make the coaches in the national take notice. Ben Brown, prime example. Coaches in the national, some reason, whatever it may be, took notice this summer and they brung him down. If he's good, he's never coming back. Yeah. He might never play an SNL game ever again the rest of his life.
I think that's the problem. Like Scotland's not together as one. As like they might pretend they are, like, but I think there's a lot of jealousy between clubs. Like, oh yeah, he's got, like, they've got so and so player. Like, I think other clubs be jealousy about a good player and they think their player's better. I think they need to again promote Scotland as a unit that is in like Paisley or Dundee, the two Dundee teams. Just promote what you've got, and I think they'll grow as a country rather than just try to promote individually. You know what I mean? I'm not the best way at describing that, but
no, mate, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
and if it's that one organization pushing the whole 100%. Thing, mate, that can only be a good thing. Right, I've kept you for longer than I expected to. Let's touch on a couple of the last subjects. Obviously, you say you work away in that. What is it you do for a job outside of you playing ice hockey?
Work offshore.
So again, like I talked to Big Fraser and a couple of the Aberdeen boys. He's like, your roster can be so different in that SNL league because guys will be offshore and they're working away. How hard is it for you on that side, like being away, coming back, and how hard is it for the team? Like, hey, we've got Bill. No, we don't. He's fucking away for work. Like, how hard is it for both parties in that situation?
It's the 3. So I work away 3 weeks, home for 3 weeks. So the first week home is brutal. Like you come home like Wednesday night, train Thursday night, and then you play in the team Saturday. Then it's just like, so the first week's like not so bad. Worse one, sorry. Second is not so bad. Third week, okay, I'm back into it and I tend to go back to work again.
Then that's your way,
yeah. But I think the team have got to understand that. Like I'm third league player. I'm not on the top line. I'm not in the power play unit or anything like that. So I think if they understand that, I think like having me there, it's just a physical aspect of being there. So I don't mind too much going back in there.
Speaking of physical aspect, Cat McGiffin said you're the toughest player in the SNL history. Sean Beattie confirmed it when I asked him off air. And even Big Phrase said, even though you boys are pals and he's at your wedding and that, he said you boys have thrown down 3 times. So you don't mind the rough stuff. Obviously, we've had each other on social media a while. I've been following you for a bit. Tell me about it. Do you love it? I fucking love it.
Yeah, I do.
I love it.
I absolutely love it. Yeah, like anyone who does it enough and said they don't like it, they're lying.
Liars.
Yeah, like I don't score many goals, but the boys that get after a good fight will never ever be beaten by a goal or anything, and you'll understand that. But you tell people that and look at you like, are you fucked in the head? But you'll know what I mean.
I mean, yeah, we are, but it's fun. Have you had many takers up in that SNL?
They're always takers. Yeah, it's just not as many.
Not as many
as
as
it
you'd
used to be.
like.
It goes back to that thing of like the younger guys wanting to come through and prove a point. There's not that many. Like when I was
No.
younger, they wanted to prove a point to like who's the toughest guy in the league.
Yeah.
I'll try and prove a point with him, prove about him. But now there's not much of that. Okay, I don't play half as much as used to, but there's not many try and fight you as much as you used to anyway.
Well,
So it's probably a good thing. I'm getting old now.
I was gonna say that's a bonus once you get in your 30s. Right. So this weekend, big 2 points on the line.
Yeah.
What do you have to, last question, what do you have to do to pick up the 2 points away on the road in Aberdeen?
Tough one. Just be ourselves, really. It's just like don't like you say the big Kevin said, don't get overexcited. We got beat up from the last time. Just play our own game and stick to the simple game, and then we should be fine. I think we'll get away with 2 points on Saturday. So
I love it. Right,
yeah.
Make sure you pop in the bar for a beer afterwards.
Definitely.
Dundee Comets fans, get on your own club. Make them fucking start doing their own Twitter again. It's not good enough. But while you're doing that, hit subscribe right here. Make sure you come out and check out Road Tripping episode 3. It is the Aberdeen Lynx taking on the Dundee Comets. I will be there live and early from about 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. So make sure you're tuning in over the weekend. Billy, I thank you very much for your time, and it'd be great to finally meet you at the weekend, mate.
Yeah, appreciate it, mate. I'll see you on Saturday.
Guys, peace. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come on, do it right now.